What's the film where like he sat behind her and they're doing that?
Ghost.
The Ghost. I've always sort of wanted that moment for myself, but it's never happened. So maybe this is my ghost moment. Hello, I'm Olivia, and today we're sculpting my self-portrait. First of all, we need the apron, because we're serious about this. Professional. I've never sculpted anything in my life. I have already an idea of what I want to do. Can I just get into it?
Let's get into it.
Okay. I'm just going to say as a disclaimer, I'm going to go quite abstract with this. Like, you may not see the resemblance, but look a little closer. And maybe you might. What will I do with all of these? Wow, that's a great question. I think I have a nice nose. I like my nose. I think it's sweet. And I really like my freckles too. And they come out when the sun shines. This is kind of terrifying. This has kind of got a Halloween feel right now, but let's just go with it. So immediately when I sat down and I was like, wow, this is my first chance to sculpt and also to sculpt myself, I was like, I'm going to do something fun here. I'm planning to do, like, my piece, my idea is, every sort of sense on my face is going to be like reflective of like how I feel about that sense, or like how I want to feel about that sense. Positive vision. The vision is there, but I just haven't quite realized it yet. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. I was in school and I was in my music class, and my teacher, Mr. Doherty, he played us a video of a live version of Paul Simon performing a song from Graceland, Diamonds on the Soles of Their Shoes, with Ladysmith Black Mambazo. And I just remember being completely stunned by the amount of joy everybody was having on stage. And it was like just this beautiful cross-culture of people coming together for the love of music. And I just remember thinking that, A, I wanted to experience that joy on stage, but also I wanted to create that joy, you know, and like create performances where people can come and have fun, you know? Ooh, this is gonna be good. I definitely felt that second album pressure, where it's like you've done something once and you're like, can I do that again? Am I a fraud? Whoa, imposter syndrome. I don't know if I can. Who am I now? I definitely felt that pressure. But then I was just like, you know what, Olivia? Why don't you focus less on the product and focus more on how the process could be fun for you? And then it doesn't really matter what you make. And also, nobody can take that away from you. Like, you can say that you don't like my album, and you can say that it doesn't speak to you, but you can't say that I didn't have fun making it, and you can't say it's not honest and true to me. So, whatever. Sorry, you can't take that away from me. I'm really driven by my passion for music. I just do it every day. Like, I love my job. It doesn't feel like a job, and it is a job in many ways. Like, not all of it is like fabulous, but I just love what I do. I love the people that I work with. I love my team. I love my band. I love the music I get to make. And so it's not difficult to be productive. Maybe I'll slow down at some point, but that doesn't feel at the time right now. I feel like I'm an athlete in her prime. Neo-soul is a genre that I associate to such comfort and like companionship to my life. I think it's been so important to my mum and my auntie and like the Black women in my life. And those artists and those albums like Angie and D'Angelo and Lauryn Hill and Jill Scott, like they're the kind of albums you return to when you've gone through some shit and you're like my mum and my auntie always tell me this story about when my auntie was breaking up with one of her boyfriends, and they went and they drove all around London to Pissed Off, and they were like, just run it back in the car, run it again, you know? And I would watch them and I would watch their connection to that music. And I think that perhaps with this album, in a way, I was trying to create something like that, or not even reference it musically so much, but like the feeling of those albums that are like an emotional toolkit, or like something that you could return to if you were going through a breakup, or if you were falling in love, or if somebody just did you dirty, you know? We lost a great one with D'Angelo, like such a pioneer, and You know, we're always referencing his live stuff when we are putting the show together. And yeah, I think he's inspired like all of your favorite musicians, basically. All the things that you love, probably, or all the things that you think the best thing you've ever heard is probably because they were listening to D'Angelo, you know? This is terrifying. No, you like it. Okay, cool. I think I'm going to take this piece off. Oh my God, I just ripped my mouth off. Will I get to keep this afterwards?
Do you want it?
Not really. Truthfully, no. I think it's a mixture of things, truthfully. I think most of the time it's really lovely and it's flattering and it's fulfilling and it makes it feel all worthwhile. I think sometimes it can be strange, you know. I think that's okay to say. Like, I'm someone who like loves my anonymity. Like, I love going to the cinema by myself, or like I love going down to the market when I'm in London, or just walking around. And I think some of that, I guess, has been sacrificed a little bit. And sometimes, yeah, you're kind of being observed all the time. But I think that is a small price to pay because I get to do like the most amazing job in the world, you know? And everyone's really lovely, you know? I'm not being egged, so I can't complain. Oh, this is cute. I think it needs other colors. I'm going to add green next somewhere. Oh, I know. I'm sort of very stereotypically British in that way where I hate receiving compliments. Like, my mind goes to when like someone pays me a compliment, it's like, you're just saying that because you just want me to feel nice. Like, you don't mean that, you know? Like, quite often after a show, like someone will be like, that was great. I'm like, you're lying. That was average. I can be way better, you know, which I think is quite toxic. And yeah, I'm quite bad at receiving compliments. I find it quite awkward, but I'm trying to learn to just take it. I'm so like, oh my God, don't look at me, but also look at me. I'm singing, but guys, stop looking at me. What? No. You know, it's confusing. That's like my mind all the time. The one that I kind of really had to sit with for a minute before I could even respond was Questlove. Yeah, he just hit me up and he said that he thought it was superb and that I should come on the Jimmy Fallon show. And I said, I already been there. I was already there, yeah. But that for me is like the highest praise. Somebody that I regard as like a tastemaker and just genius in sonics and like feel in that way to validate me was unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm at this point where I'm like, you could say my album was shit, but Questlove said it was superb. So what about that? At the moment, I'm really trying to keep like my weekends, if I have them off, very skeletal. Make no plans with nobody. Don't tell anybody you have an off day, because then it's really an off day. You think I'm on, but I'm off. I wake up, maybe I put some vinyl on, I make a lovely little coffee. I just got a milk frother. Guys, game changer. I froth the milk. I have a lovely coffee on the balcony. I listen to some vinyl. Maybe then I drive. I love to go for a drive. Really clears the mind. I go to the gym, maybe I do a hot yoga class. Stunning. I don't shower at the gym. I'm not into that. I shower at home. I cook a new recipe I've never made before. And then maybe I speak to a friend on the phone, and then I just get on the sofa, put my slippers on. I'm really into games at the moment. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, loving it. And I just game until I'm tired. And then I go to sleep. That's perfect. How I feel about myself now compared to when I was like 18, 19 is like night and day. It's almost like two different people inside my mind. I think that I felt a lot of confusion, like around being mixed race and like feeling like one of two things, but not quite both. But now I'm just like, wow, I'm the best of both. I'm a beautiful mix of things, and that's so lucky. And like, why would I want to change that? Like, I love my hair. I love the way that I look. And I love that I can kind of tap into, you know, both those different parts of me and different people in my life. And thank God. so tiring living the other way, you know, constantly sort of wanting to be something else or like, you know, living in comparison, the thief of joy. I feel proud of that journey for myself, you know. Think about the people that you love most in your life. Maybe that's your best friend. Maybe that's your mum. Maybe that's your sibling. Maybe that's a partner. Whoever that person is that you're like, wow, I really love you. Like, I have so much love for you. Talk to yourself that same way, the exact same way. I think we're very hard on ourselves sometimes. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm like my worst critic. But it's important to just, give yourself the love that you know you're capable of giving to other people. It's easy to give, well, it's not easy to give it to yourself. That's a big fat lie. But it should be easy. Like, it can be easy. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I regret this part, but I'm going to continue with it. It looks like a toupee. I love my independence. It's so sacred to me. Perhaps sometimes I wonder if I'm too independent. It can sometimes get you in trouble because when you love your own company so much and you don't be needing anybody, sometimes you're like, damn, I'm not with anybody. But I think independence just means to me just like having my own back and being comfortable in my own company and still just, you know, do my own shit. Like, I'm just, I've always kind of been okay with myself in that way. I think it's a good skill to have. Ooh, girl. Ooh. I don't have the clay and the skill to do a blowout. So I've decided to sort of channel the ocean as a kind of like framing of the face. And my story with the ocean is that I'm deeply terrified of the ocean. Very scared. It's really scary and we don't know what's down there. And I never really swam that much as a child. And I only really learned to swim quite recently. And now I'm getting more and more confident in the ocean. And sometimes I'll go just to the point where my toes can't touch the bottom. Not too far. Not too far. I guess I would like to, sometimes I think about shows that I'd love to play again. I wish I could do Glastonbury again when we played on the Pyramid stage. I was really conscious of that I wanted to be present. And I remember thinking so much before I was going on stage, like, be present, like, remember this. Like, you must remember this because you've been working so hard to get to this point. Like, remember this, you know? Like, taking so many mental photos. And yet still, I don't really remember it. It's just such a big amount of people. And when you're playing a show, you're trying to gauge if everybody's having a good time and you're like, okay, this bit of the crowd is kind of vibing, but you guys are yawning. What's going on over here? You know, what is going on? It's like people management in your mind all the time. And I wish that I had just enjoyed it a little more. Like, of course I enjoyed it, but I think if I could do it again, I would maybe worry a little less about everybody else and just be present like I said I was gonna be. Okay, are you ready?
How you feeling?
Good. Take it in. Take it in. I think it sparks joy. At the very least. But yeah, sunshine for eyes because a positive mindset. A heart for the mouth because spread loving words. A flower for the nose because I love flowers. They're cute. And a wave sort of ocean framing for the face because I used to be scared of the ocean, but I'm conquering my fears now. Thank you, Vanity Fair, for allowing me to sculpt myself here and sending love wherever you are. Thank you.